I'm Rudhiyatri, you're watching TimesXP and welcome to the top US news today. Over 1,000 Indian citizens have been sent back from the United States to India since the beginning of 2025, and this is according to the numbers given by Ministry of External Affairs. This development reflects the growing cooperation between both India and the United States when it comes to dealing with migration, specifically the deportation of individuals who are living in America without proper legal status. According to ministry spokesperson Mr. Randhir Jaiswal, around 1,080 Indians have been deported from the US so far this year. Interestingly, about 62% of them returned to India using regular commercial flights, which means that their deportation was handled through civilian travel channels, not special government chartered planes. Jaiswal emphasized that India cooperates closely with the US on identifying and accepting back Indian nationals who are found staying illegally or who have entered the US without valid documents. This situation is part of a wider trend where the US immigration authorities have become stricter, specifically under the Trump administration renewed focus on enforcement. Many Indian nationals who overstayed their visas or crossed the border without proper documents are now being identified and removed through the legal procedures. Well, in a separate issue, Jaiswal also addressed concern related to Indian students who wish to study in the US. Currently, the Trump administration has made changes to the visa process for foreign students, including Indians. Reports say that the US government is planning to introduce more detailed background check, including review of applicants' social media profile. A recent directive reportedly issued by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, instructed the US embassies, not just in India but around the globe, to pause new interview appointments for student visa applicants under FMJ visas. Well, these are the visa types commonly used by international students and exchange visitors. The halt is said to be temporary and connected to a planned extension of security screening measures. This move could delay or prevent some Indian students from starting or continuing their education in the US. The Indian government has expressed concern over the matter, stating that student welfare is a top priority and that Indian students should be treated fairly. Chinese President Xi Jinping's daughter Xi Ming's is back in the spotlight with the very new rumor that claims that she might be living in the United States, possibly in the states of Massachusetts, under very heavy security. These reports, though unconfirmed, have become major intense after a far-right activist in the United States, Laura Loomer, publicly threatened to confront her on camera. Loomer criticized Xi Ming's, calling her a communist, and questioned why she allowed to stay in America. She also claimed that Chinese security agents are protecting her in the US, which has added more drama to the situation. Xi Ming's is known for staying out of public eye. Born in 1992, she is the only child of Xi Jinping and his wife. She studied at Harvard University under a fake name from 2010 to 2014, where she earned a degree in psychology. Well, before studying in Harvard, she also studied in the university in China. After graduating, she reportedly went to China, but some unverified news stories say that she might have returned to Harvard for her further studies in 2019. Nobody knows for sure where she is now, and both the United States and Chinese governments have stayed silent on this matter. China has gone to great lengths to keep information about her private. Well, even pictures and basic facts about her are removed from Chinese website and social media as well. In one shocking case in 2019, a young Chinese tech worker named Niu Tengu was sentenced to 14 years in prison for allegedly leaking Xi Jinping's personal information online. Human rights groups say that he was punished unfairly just to send a message that the government won't tolerate any exposure of the ruling family's private life. In 2022, a US lawmaker also said publicly that Xi Jinping was living in the United States, but no government official, either American or Chinese, have confirmed this. Still, the fact that she might be in the United States raises important questions, specifically now that the American government is planning to crack down really hard on Chinese students who are coming to study. Recently, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced a new visa policy that directly targets Chinese students, specifically those with connections to the Chinese Communist Party or those who want to study high-tech fields like artificial intelligence, robotics, and military technology. Under this particular plan, the US will start cancelling visas for these students and carry out extra background checks on applications from China and Hong Kong. Officials say that this is to protect the US national security, but the move is also seen as part of growing political tension between Washington and Beijing. Now, in response, China has strongly criticized the visa crackdown. Chinese government called it unfair and said that it is clearly based on ideology and politics and not real security concern. Fesan Zaki, a 13-year-old Indian-American student from Texas, has won the prestigious Scripps National Spelling Bee in the United States. Well, this major achievement just came 1 year after he finished as the runner-up in the same competition. Fesan's win is being celebrated across the country, specifically among the Indian-American community, where spelling bee success has become a proud tradition. Fesan is not new to spelling bee, by the way. In fact, he has been competing since he was just 7 years old. He first made it to the national level in 2019 through a wild card system. He qualified again in 2023 and reached the semi-finals, and last year he was the runner-up after losing in the special lightning round tiebreaker. That loss taught him an important lesson, and this year he came back stronger, more focused and determined to win. During the finals, Fesan showed a relaxed and cheerful attitude on stage. Dressed in casual black hoodie, he approached each word with confidence and joy. But there was a dramatic moment when he made a mistake on a word. Well, not because he didn't know, but because he started spelling it too quickly and without asking the usual question like definition or language of origin. He caught himself, but by then it was too late and he had to sit down. Fortunately for Fesan, the other two finalists also made mistakes in their turns, giving him another chance. When his final word, Eclair assessment, was announced, Fesan didn't ask a single question. He spelled it right on the first try and immediately celebrated by pumping his fist and falling to the floor in joy. This moment marked the 100th anniversary of the National Spelling Bee, and Fesan's win became one of the most memorable in its history. Fesan's success is part of a long line of Indian-American victories in the spelling bee. Out of the last 36 champions, 30 have been of Indian origin. Can you imagine that? This tradition started in 1999 with Nupur Lala, whose journey was featured in the famous documentary Spellbound. Fesan's own parents moved to the US from South India, and he has been studying words for years. His father proudly called him the GOAT, the greatest of all times, and said that Fesan knows the dictionary inside out. You know what makes Fesan unique is not just his spelling skills, but his passion for words. Even when he is not preparing for a competition, he enjoys looking up rare and old words just for fun. He was coached by 3 experienced mentors, Scott Rummer, Sam Evans, and Suham. But they never tried to make him over serious. Instead, Fesan kept things light-hearted and fun. His coach Evans even said that he's crazy. He's having a good time and doing what he loves. This year's Spelling Bee was one of the most exciting in recent times. There were 3 perfect rounds and stretched where 6 spellers got 28 words correct in the row. Vive Ramaswami, a very well-known Indian-American businessman and former Republican presidential candidate, recently shared a touching post on social media to celebrate his 10th wedding anniversary. In the post, he shared how he met his wife, Dr. Apurva Ramaswamy, at a college party in 2011. He invited her on a hiking trip to Flat Top Mountain in the Rocky Mountains. During the hike, a snowstorm forced them to turn back, but she comforted him by saying that they would have a lifetime to complete it. Now, 14 years later, and with two children, Karthik and Arjun, they finally returned to finish the hike, celebrating their decade of marriage. Ramaswamy, whose parents migrated to the United States from Kerala, India, is currently campaigning to become the governor of Ohio. He posted two photos with his wife, one from their original trip in 2014 and one from the recent anniversary hike, along with a heartfelt message reflecting on their journey together. However, instead of warm wishes, the post attracted a wave of racist and anti-immigrant sentiments, specifically on social media platform X. Many users attacked Ramaswamy for his Indian background. Some told him to go back to India, while others mocked his skin color and made offensive remarks about his family. One even asked when his father would be deported. Well, these comments quickly went viral, drawing a lot of attention to the growing problem of racism faced by migrants, even those in the public life. This hate also comes in light of Ramaswamy's changing opinion about H-1B visa program, which allows skilled workers, specifically the foreigners, mostly from India, to work in the US. While he's running for president, Ramaswamy had criticized the program, saying that it needed major reforms and was being abused. But earlier in his career, he had supported more foreign talents coming to the US tech industry. Critics online accused him of being hypocrite, suggesting that he would support the H-1B system again if it benefited him or helped Indian workers in particular. Some even accused him of wanting to favor Indian immigrants if he wins the Ohio governor race, based on the assumptions that Indians hire Indians. Walmart, one of the world's largest retail companies, is planning to hire more people in both the United States and India. Well, this comes shortly after the company let go of about 1,500 employees globally in May 2025. The job cuts were part of Walmart's plan to simplify its operations, save some money, and make faster business decisions. Now, the company says that it will be opening up several hundred new job roles across both the countries. What's important is that even those who were recently laid off can actually apply for these new positions. According to Walmart's internal communication, this change is part of a larger effort to reshape the company's team so it can be better keep up with the changes in the world of business. Teams that were affected by the recent layoffs include those working in global technology, online order management, and advertisement. Now, these are key areas for Walmart, specifically as more customers shop online and expect fast, tech-driven services. In the middle of all this, Walmart's leadership has faced criticism too, and that too from some political groups. Supporters of the Make India Great Again movement have accused Walmart's global CTO and EVP, Suresh Kumar, of favoring Indian H-1B visa holders over the American workers. H-1B visas, which allow skilled foreign professionals, specifically from India, to work in the US for several years. However, Walmart has not commented directly on these claims. Some reports suggested that the layoffs might be related to the US tariffs, taxes placed on imported goods, particularly from China. These tariffs were pushed during Donald Trump's presidency and made it even more expensive for companies like Walmart to buy certain products. But Walmart has strongly denied that tariffs had anything to do with the job cuts. Instead, the company says that this particular decision was based on its long-term business plan and priorities. Do you remember in the past, Walmart had already warned that it may need to increase prices on some products, specifically those made in China, because of the rising import cost. The CEO explained in a company call that although Walmart tries to keep the prices very low, it cannot avoid passing on some of these extra costs to the customers because the company works on very thin profit margin. Now, this whole situation shows how complex it can be for global companies to manage operations during uncertain times. On one hand, Walmart wants to stay competitive by investing in technology and restructuring its workforce. And on the other hand, it has to deal with political pressure, global economic issues, and public expectations. Now, for many workers, specifically those in tech and e-commerce terms, these changes mean new challenges. but also new job opportunities both in the US and India. That's it for today. For more such informative videos, do follow TimesXP.